Now, Sports Talk with Brodes. Here's Hunter Brody.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. There's been 2 spring training games since the last time I discussed the red pinstripes. So let's look at what happened against the Blue Jays. Let's look at what happened against the Detroit Tigers. I'm inching my way closer and closer to opening day. That's all I can do. It's March 10th right now. I am dying to be naked running down Broad Street the moment Aaron Nola throws the first pitch. That's how juiced up I am. My ass will be bare ass naked, running around Broad Street with the Phillies rally towel, ready to rock and roll for that first pitch. Oh, I can't wait. So until then, I'll have to be satisfied with the Spencer Howard performance, which it didn't start out great because of a shift that allows a base runner. And then here on a full count, he's trying to thread the needle with a fastball, and it catches a little bit more of the plate than he probably would have anticipated. And there goes a moonshot. So the Phillies are down 2-0 early on. There was a lot that I liked, though. The battle back after that was very impressive. And the usage of the changeup. You are seeing what a 95-mile-per-hour fastball can do for Spencer Howard, 96-mile-per-hour fastball can do, and then boom, you throw in that changeup, and it has been magnificent. You saw that in this outing. So other than the 2-run bomb and the poor shift attempt, which this is such a weird thing for me. And I heard Ruben Amaro say this, and he was kind of alluding to being against analytics, and this is why he doesn't love the shift. And I understand based off of that era of baseball he is more accustomed to. But when it happened, he states, it should have only been a 1-run home run anyway, so you can't really put the blame on Spencer Howard. And I understand what he's saying, because if there was no shift, then fine. There would have been a ground out to shortstop. Didi Gregorius would have probably made the play, and there would have been 1 out. But instead, he's on base, and now it's a 2-run home run. But at the same time, part of being a pitcher is understanding the circumstances, understanding there's a guy on first base, understanding what is happening in the game. And with the guy on first base, he gets put into a full count, and he wasn't able to deliver on a full count pitch that got rocked and crushed. So, I get what he's saying. Well, the shift was in play, and without the shift, it would have been an out. But here's what I know. It is a shift. This is 2020 baseball. This is what's going to happen. This is going to be common. You're going to have to fight through that. You're going to have to understand emotionally, physically, mentally that, hey, that probably wasn't my fault, but this is a reality. There's a man on first base. I need to step up and help out my squad. And he wasn't able to there. But it's not really about that. I'm not crushing him for it. I'm more looking at the way Ruben Amaro was explaining it, and I'm understanding where he's coming from. But at the same time, you need to be fully aware that, hey, okay, this happened. How am I going to help my team get out of this situation? But that second inning, the second inning was explosive for him. He struck out the side. The usage of the changeup was big. And to get the last out of the inning, he's throwing a 95-mile-per-hour fastball cheese up in the zone that was swung right through. So I really loved it. The one thing that has been touched on was the velocity dip. Now, it wasn't extreme. It wasn't insane. But there was a difference in his velocity with his fastball. Is it ultra concerning? Not yet. I'm not ready to start hitting the red buttons and having the alarms going off. But considering something we've seen last year was, he struggles to go deeper into games. And you can realize and see that his pitches are maybe not as powerful as the game continues to go on. Well, is there some sort of correlation? And it's only spring training. The kid is so young. The kid has so much time to learn. But it is something that you have to be aware of and put your glasses on for. His velocity did dip down a bit, but the changeup was something that you can definitely utilize. And keep in mind, he's got that nasty breaking pitch as well that can totally fool some hitters. And I remember his first outing in spring training, he battled back in a 3-0 spot. So he fell 3-0 in the count. He started out with a 77-mile-per-hour nasty pitch on the outside corner that didn't hit the zone. So that was ball 1. He tried to use his fastball to get back into things, fell back 3-0, and then bang, 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 fastball, electric stuff. to record an out. So I've seen that. There's something to be said about the battle back from Spencer Howard, but you can't always put yourself in that hole, put yourself in a tough situation. Just something to look at from Spencer Howard, that's all. And I did grab an audio cut from the broadcast because he was asked about possibly coming out of the bullpen, and this is what he had to say.
I'm good with whatever. I've been in the pen in the past. I was out of the pen in college, so it's not that foreign to me. It would be somewhat of an adjustment for the big league pen, but yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I know that, and I'm comfortable with whatever they throw at me.
Now, I love that answer because there's two ways to approach it. Not too much of a bullpen guy, similar to what we saw with Andre Dillard of the Philadelphia Eagles. When he had to move to right tackle, what did he say to the media? Well, if you're a left-handed guy, it's like writing with your right hand. Or if you're right-handed, it's like writing with your left hand. Whichever hand he used to describe it, that's pretty much admitting, I don't know if I'm going to really be effective there because I'm not confident in myself. It's a totally different lifestyle, which it is, and that is known. But dude, you got to take the bull by the horns. Who are you to say, you know what, I don't know if I'm much of a right tackle kind of guy. No, you play what you have to play. This is your life in the NFL. If you get shifted to another side, take control and go out there and compete at a high level and do it. Don't be all weak-minded about it. Well, Spencer Howard goes, you know what? I had some experience in the bullpen at the college level. It's not the MLB level, but I have some experience there and anything I can do to help out this team. Step one, the right approach. Now, step two would be execution. And I don't know what to expect for a guy who is supposed to be a starter to get thrown into a role out of the pen. It's two totally different mindsets. And I was talking to my good buddy Dan Robinson about it, also known as Shelfie in the MLB community. And we were texting back and forth. He thinks that it would be a good idea to just start him out in AAA and to keep his mindset a starter mindset, but I'm okay with the pen lifestyle. I think that there is a lot to do with the mental side of the game, just being in the majors. So the professional approach, not so much bullpen or starter approach, but the, hey, I'm in the majors approach, that could be extremely beneficial. And keep in mind, this Matt Moore, Chase Anderson duo, I don't think both are going to hit. Now, they're both going to get the starting chance, but I don't think both are just going to be full out phenomenal for 162. Of course, they don't play 162. They get in their five-man rotation. But if there was anything to happen to one of those guys or a starter with injury, he's going to get that chance to slide in and get that start. Right? So with that being said, I think it's okay for him to lock into, hey, I might be a bullpen guy, and then when that opportunity comes, he gets a first crack at it. I want him up with the majors. I want him to be engaged with that mental approach of I am in the majors. And keep in mind, he's got some nasty stuff. And if he's having trouble with going deeper into games, maybe that nasty stuff fits best for someone who doesn't need to log in 4 or 5 innings of play. Who knows? Maybe you can get a good 2 innings, a good 1 inning with just some powerful stuff. And that's what best suits him. I'm willing to find out, and I want to see him start way more before I come to that conclusion. Let's be clear. I'm not stating that this is exactly who he is, but I'm putting all the options on the table for someone like Spencer Howard. Of course, it would be very underwhelming if this stud that was in your system for so long and you were anticipating him to be a top-tier starting rotation type of guy at the front end of your rotation, he becomes a bullpen piece. Sure, it's not the most happy times specifically because your farm system stinks anyway. But you need those roles right now. Coming off of a historically pathetic bullpen season, you need all the help you can get. And I'm willing to throw him into that mix for right now. And things will change. That's what I know. And that's why I'm okay with it. Because I know that what you start the season out isn't going to fully be where you are 1 month in, 2 months in, 3 months in. There's so much that happens. There's so much that changes. There's injuries. There's guys who don't perform at a high rate. And there's something that needs to change to spark the club. And there's double headers where maybe someone gets thrown into that double header to start a game. There's so much, right? So I'm willing to take that chance of him changing what he needs to approach it from a bullpen perspective. And then if he ever does get that call of, hey, you're going to slide into that 5th starting guy or that 6th starting guy, it's all you, Spencer. Let's see what you got. But I really did love the bounce back out of him in this effort in that 2nd inning. Now, we are doing a hump day giveaway, by the way, on my Twitter page. Every Wednesday, we give away something new. It's 1 week long. All you have to do to enter to win is follow me on Twitter at Brodes81 and retweet my pinned tweet. And this week, we're giving away a Bryce Harper t-shirt. That's right. The Bryce Harper jersey t-shirt is the giveaway. So make sure you head on over to my Twitter, retweet the pinned tweet, which explains the rules, and follow me. It's so simple. Every Wednesday, it's something new. So it is a no-brainer to get in on all of the action. Chase Anderson came into the game after, and this is all the Detroit Tigers game. We'll get to what happened against Toronto. But Chase Anderson came in. He had some moments where two guys were on, and he had to really grind through it. But he did. He did, and I think that just shows the veteran presence out of him. I don't really know what to expect. Him and Matt Moore, they're the outliers, right? They're these two guys that came in. Matt Moore had some good play out in Japan. Chase Anderson had good years in the past, but we don't know truly who they are. And for me to guess that both are just going to hit and Dave Dombrowski hit on both of them, I'm not ready to commit to that yet emotionally to say, you know what, both of these guys are flat out going to work. I think one of the two will. If I'm going to take my odds on it, one of the two will. And who is it going to be? Will it be Matt Moore? Will it be Chase Anderson? I thought Chase Anderson had a magnificent start in his first start. Here, when he comes out after Spencer Howard, I noticed that he allowed a couple men on, but what did he do from there? He got guys to record outs. He threw good pitches. He had good location. He got guys to put the ball in play, but allowed his teammates to make the play for him out there in the field. So, Chase Anderson with a little bit of a grind, but he was able to battle through it. Tony Watson has me juiced up. I'm all in on this Tony Watson experience. I really am. When I see him throw lefty, just dialed in, hitting the spots he wants to hit, it's crazy. Doesn't matter if it's lefty-lefty. Didn't matter if it was lefty-righty. He just found his groove and executed. I'm all in on this Tony Watson life. And even Bryce Harper, when I played the clip, when I checked in on the Philly spring training on my last episode, I played the clip of what he said about Dave Dombrowski. He mentions Kinsler. He mentions Tony Watson. He mentions what Dave Dombrowski brought here from the bullpen layers. And Tony Watson, to me, I'm telling you, he's going to be a guy that you can rely on to get your big outs. When I see him out there on the bump, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run through a damn brick wall. The sequence, too. Bang, bang, bang. Hitting all the parts of the strike zone that he needs to. Good luck, lefties. Sign me up for Tony Watson every single damn day. Pitched 1 inning and recorded 2 strikeouts. All right, so let's get to some of what we saw from a hitting style of play. Bryce Harper, 3 strikeouts. Swinging and missing. Looked like he was really trying. I mean, all of his swings are super aggressive, right? But when he strikes out and he's swinging and missing, it does seem like he's just trying to murder the ball way too damn hard. And I wonder if his stepping up to the plate, first at-bat of spring training, hitting an opposite field home run is playing a effect on him. Now it's Bryce Harper. All right, he's a true pro, and he's an ultimate professional that has been through so many spring trainings and has been amping himself up for a season so many times now that, I think he's over that. I don't think an opposite field home run is really going to sway the way that he thinks, but it does seem like he's trying way too damn hard to just murder the cover off of the ball, and he's swinging and missing, and he didn't have a good outing in his second game. This is now his 3rd game that he has played in. Just really trying to crush it, and he's chasing some pitches, and it is what it is. I don't know how much stock to really put into it considering it's Bryce Harper, and he's one of those guys that you expect to just work himself into this season and professionally handle this and make sure he's doing all the proper steps to get himself ready for game action when we're talking about April 1st. So I'm not going to criticize the guy that much. I do know when he's walking to the dugout, though, and he's got the sunglasses on and he's got the Bryce Harper arm sleeves on. I even tweeted out a video of him walking to the dugout after his strikeout. It's so damn hard to look that cool and to have that much swag after swinging and missing and your helmet almost flying off because you were trying to really produce that much power with your swing, and he got fooled that much, and he still walks to the dugout with all the swag in the world and just looks like one of the greatest players ever. The guy is just filled with swag, and it's amazing. By the way, I can never get behind batting with sunglasses. That would throw me off too much. I can't personally do it. I'm curious if you can. And, if you were ever someone who played baseball, could you rock the sunglasses up to the plate? It always confused me a bit. It threw me off. Even if there was sun in the way, I'm going pure sun in the eyes and squinting and trying to swing that way. But I can't do the sunglasses at the plate. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the description. Brad Miller, 3 for 3, hit a home run opposite field. We know he's going to have a bench roll. Matt Joyce also going to have a bench roll, 2 for 2 and had a walk. And this isn't even talking about what he did in his first game. Was that the first game, second game? I forget which game it was in the season. I think it might have been the first televised game they had where he had the play out in right field, diving catch. He had the home run where the ball was smoked and delivered over the right field fence. Matt Joyce is clearly going to be a guy. Brad Miller's going to be a guy. And this is where that center field debacle really comes into play. And I'll tie in what happened against the Blue Jays. Scott Kingery sucked. And Scott Kingery is way too out of place when it comes to him at the plate. Striking out 3 times, swinging and missing, getting overpowered, and his hips and the way that he's opening up way too early. It's such an ugly look. And I know that Joe Girardi, where's my mouse here? Joe Girardi, where the hell is my mouse? All right, here we go. He mentioned I want to see if I can find the clip on the fly. I should have pulled this prior. But he did mention something about Scott Kingery after the game. And let's see if I could find that audio cut. Please, please, please. Okay, yes, I got it. I'm pumped. All right, so this is courtesy of Bob Wankel of Crossing Broad. And he asked Joe Girardi a question, and let's hear the response.
You specifically seeing with his swing, you talk about going gap to gap and trying to really reconfigure what he's doing at the plate. Is it just a matter of it not translating into game action yet, or what are your overall impressions?
I think that's part of it. I think part of it's a mechanical thing that we're trying to work out with Scotty. And there's timing issues for a lot of hitters at this time of the year. Sometimes you worry if a hitter peaks at this time of the year. You don't want that. But, there's little things that he needs to make adjustments. And the bottom line is you got to find ways to make contact and put the ball in play and take your chances when you do that.
So it's almost like he's understanding, hey, this time of year, people have those problems, but hey, you got to find a way. And I bring this up because with Scott Kingery, he was a disaster, and he doesn't look to be very smooth right now, and he looks to be a little bit lost, and it's so early. I know, it's so early, but we've seen this before. Last year, he was abysmal with some of the fastballs that came his way. And he had such a tough season that it's hard to not dial back to what we saw last year and apply it to maybe some of the issues that we are seeing this season for him when he's in the box. With that, with Miller, with Matt Joyce, with Roman Quinn, with Adam Hazy, with Odubel Herrera, what are you going to do with some of these spots? I'm just so fascinated by it. Roman Quinn, I am out on Roman Quinn being some sort of starter. Yet in this game against Detroit, what does he do? He gets a nice hit, he gets on first base, he steals second base with ease, and then you end up having Luke Williams with the home run. But him getting to second, I think, really affected some things. So his ability to steal later on in the game, what's he doing? He's putting a bunt in play, and he's beating out the play to first base. So my point is, his speed is always going to keep you involved if you are Roman Quinn. If you're Roman Quinn, the fact that you have that type of lethal speed, it is always going to keep you in the conversation. I am out on him being your starter. He is not consistent enough for you to start him. You can't. Sorry, not good enough. But there is something about being a role player. But with Brad Miller, with Joyce, with some of these other guys, with Scott Kingery, with Odubel, with Hazley's problem, like there's just so many guys with so many question marks, and you got to keep this roster at a reasonable rate here. What are you going to do? And that's why I bring back up that healthy competition that Dave Dombrowski wanted, and I think that is where this Phillies team is, which is why I'm so excited to watch this team play every day in spring training, because I know the storylines. I know that everyone really is battling for a spot. Some of these players are having to earn it and having to inch and crawl their way to Joe Girardi saying, you got to keep me. The way that I'm playing, I can benefit. I can help this team win. You will benefit from keeping me. It's that healthy competition. I got to outwork my teammate here, and I got to keep my name in the mix. And I thought Roman Quinn did that with that type of performance. It's just a reminder, hey, this is what I can do when I do play well. The problem is he doesn't play well enough to keep him available out in center field every single day. And Odubel Herrera, he started out spring training hot. He had a couple strikeouts against the Blue Jays, and it wasn't his best performance. So, look, guys are going to have good nights. Guys are going to have bad nights. We saw Roman Quinn strike out a lot when he was up to the plate, and then we see him have a night like this where he was what he can be. And same with Odubel, where you see the explosive power, you see the good hitting, you see the work in the counts, you see the base running, you see the defense, and then you also see a couple strikeouts. So you really just got to stay on top of everything. I mentioned Luke Williams, homer. Mathis had a good piece of hitting. Moniak, that's another name, Mickey Moniak. So we had the 2 homers, and I mentioned it was off Reggie McClain, the first one was, so I had some fun with it. Well, the following day, or the following game, he gets a chance and gets a triple. So I've been knocking the guy. I've been criticizing him, saying he's a bum and he's a bust because you drafted him 7,000 years ago, and in today's era of baseball, there's 19, 20-year-olds that can come in and rake, and Mickey Moniak's tripping over his own feet out in the outfield and doesn't understand how to track a fly ball. So I got on him, but this is the best of Mickey Moniak we have seen. A couple homers, a triple. He had a chance against the Tigers, and he ended up flying out. I was so curious. I was dialed in pitch by pitch to see. I mean, let's say, hypothetically, Mickey Moniak went up to the plate and crushed a double in the gap, or even crushed a single. Let's just say had a walk. Now you're really building off of that style of some confidence with Mickey Moniak. Not that everything goes out of play just because of having a fly ball and one at bat. You're not going to bat over 500 forever, which he was. I mean, that's how limited amount of at-bats he had for him to be batting that high. But I don't know the feeling that we might have had if maybe he was producing in today's game and was getting a single or a double in the gap. I'm curious to think about what the conversation would have been today. I do know that my conversation about DeSimone Jewelers is always pure love because they are the best in the jewelry business. I got my fiance's engagement ring from there, and when I opened it up when I was on one knee, she fell over. And it wasn't because she was thinking about spending the rest of my life with me. It was about the bling. It was about the flashiness of the ring, the way that the sun hit it and it was blinging in her face. I mean, she was so amazed. What did I do? I went back for Christmas. I got her an outstanding necklace. She opened the gift up on Christmas Day. She fell over again. She couldn't believe it. It's all because of DeSimone Jewelers. And they are a family-owned business with over 40 years of experience, and they moved from Jewelers Row to Haddonfield, New Jersey. They don't use sale tactics. They just show you options, and they educate you. They treat customers like family. They give you these tools, and they explain this is the difference between the rocks. And I was truly amazed. Like, wow, I didn't know how much really went into it. They just explain to you the difference and why you should go with this over that and what this means. It really is awesome to sit there and learn as you make such a big purchase. DeSimone Jewelers customizes and manufactures every ring they make from start to finish on location. And because of that, they're able to beat all of the competitors' prices. I've sent so many family members there and I get the same reaction. They're unbelievable. You'll see exactly what I mean when you talk to them. Tell them Brodes sent you. More information is down below in the description. So talking about some of the other bullpen guys, Rondon struggled for sure, but Joe Girardi mentioned him on the broadcast because sometimes he's mic'd up for certain innings, and he kind of alluded to, hey, he's not like where the other guys are right now. So with him saying that and watching him go out on the bump and struggle a bit, allow a couple runs, it kind of makes sense. It looks like Joe Girardi has a good pulse on where he is. Kinsler got in there, and he was able to be successful. Mitchell is another name, getting some good strikeouts with an off-speed pitch that I really like to see out of Mitchell. He's had a couple outings now where you do the old shake of the head with the lip, like, huh? How about that? The lip out, the lip folding over, the bottom lip folding over with a little shake of the head, like, huh? All right, I think we have something here in Mitchell, something to be intrigued by, something to watch. What can he blossom into? What can you get out of him? Right? And there's some other names that recently pitched. Brogdon pitched. Alvarado pitched against the Blue Jays. Archie Bradley pitched, and Archie Bradley had a quote that has the Phillies fans going. He's doing good from a PR standpoint of feeling this fan base. As much as people get sucked into the Bryce Harper stuff, which I do, absolutely, he's just great at marketing. It's a marketing genius type of deal for Bryce Harper where he gets the Philly fanatic stuff, whether it's bats, cleats, gloves, and he tweets it out and he says, I love Philadelphia. They allow me to be me. And I understand that he means that. I'm not saying he doesn't, but let's be realistic. Bryce Harper's a smart guy. He's got intelligent people surrounding him as well. He knows what he's doing. He's playing up this fan base, and he loves every minute of it, and there's this tie to him, which is great, and that's what superstar-level players do. But Archie Bradley is taking the same approach, saying, this is a baseball town. Philadelphia is a sports town. I can't wait to hear the boos, see the fanatic, and he's taking that approach. You're going to have to back it up, though, right? If he comes here and he struggles and things aren't looking smooth. And I did mention this before. I have a buddy that I played hockey with, and he's from Arizona, and he was like, dude, good luck. You're going to hate Archie Bradley. I'm like, no, I'm not. If you know anything about the Phillies last year, there's no way I'm going to hate Archie Bradley because he's going to be better than every bullpen pitcher we had last year, even if he does struggle this season at some point. So there's no way I hate him. And watch, 5 months in, there might be a stretch where I'm just ripping the fool to pieces. But with Archie Bradley, you start making these comments and these claims and all, you better really let it fly and you better produce. I remember when Gabe Kapler, the first day he managed, and I really didn't think I was going to bring up Gabe Kapler's name, but the first day that he managed, he was being interviewed, and it was on NBC Sports Philadelphia. He goes, I love this city. I love Philadelphia. They boo you. They know when you're not doing well. They love you when you're doing great. They just know it. They have the passion. How did that work out for Gabe Kapler? His ass was getting booed day one when he took out Aaron Nola with just about 64 pitches, 68 pitches in that range on day one of opening day. He got criticized. He got literally destroyed and annihilated. Oh, yeah, Gabe, I'm sure you'll love him now. I'm just saying, with Archie Bradley, it's not like he's Mariano Rivera here, where he can back it up with ease, no doubt, no brainer. Just watch what you say a little bit, because we can be harsh and we can get on you. But look, I like the approach of it all, and it tells me that he feels confident about it, but he's going to have to really dive deep into it and really execute. Alvarado, when we saw him against Toronto, man, I'm telling you what, it is insane. I mean, he could be the steal when it comes to the bullpen. And we all question, why would the Tampa Bay Rays get rid of him? Is that telling you something? If the Tampa Bay Rays are willing to get rid of someone who throws 100, throws 99, it's either they have 10,000 of those players, which is very fair, which is very reasonable, which is totally something that is possible, or they see something that scares them and they want to go down a different road. It wasn't so much a financial decision that I think really criticized them, or really stopped them, I should say. I got criticized stuck in my mind because I'm still thinking about Archie Bradley. But with Alvarado, it's not a financial thing. You see them move on from Blake Snell and some of these other players that they don't want to be tied to and whatever. And some of it's financial, they move on. And that wasn't the case with Alvarado, so why would they move on from him? This guy throws pure gas. This guy's electric. The fact that his fastball is so damn hard and his sliders, off-speed pitches, are faster than people's fastballs, it's just insane. And he's going to be that powerful arm that you are going to rely on. I wonder what Joe Girardi is going to do for this back end of the rotation and how roles are going to be solidified. And if that's what they're going to do, are they going to have your set 7, 8, 9 man? Archie Bradley as the closer. And Hector Neris as a late inning guy, and getting Alvarado in there to throw some gas and throw the heat by guys. What is the set selection going to be when you talk about late game situations? You also saw David Hale throw, and he's just a name that kind of gets flown under the radar. My expectations aren't too high for him, but he's been around the block. He has a ton of experience. He barely threw much, but and it's not like he was good last year for this team. I'm just curious, what is David Hale all about? You saw Vinny V too, and I think it's pretty damn obvious at this point where we are with Vince Velasquez. I saw him strike out someone with cheese, high up in the zone, electric fastball, which we've seen before, and then what ends up happening in the second inning for Vinny V. His pitch count gets high. He throws too many pitches. He can't locate well. He's missing the strike zone. And then it's typical. It's typical. It's what it is. I think he knows and understands at this point where he is with the Phillies organization. Your best bet? Off the team, in my opinion, but your second best bet? A long inning guy? Someone you're going to need to rely on for maybe 2-3 innings out of the bullpen if someone has a shaky start and you're in this tough spot with your bullpen because of the night before. Just a long reliever. If you got him for a long reliever, it could be worse. He could be in your starting rotation. Oh, jeez, please no. Please no. Oh, I'm so sick of Vinny Velasquez. What else happened against the Jays? It was such a stinker of a game. I'm just looking at my notes here. Such a stinker. Such a brutal one. You had to watch it on MLB.com/Toronto Blue Jays or something where at least they gave us something, right? The Blue Jays wanted to give people a feed, so it had a weird, horrible angle of the entire field from a very far up top perspective on the bottom right, and then you had the scoreboard taking up the whole bottom left. It was such a weird dynamic from a graphic perspective, but at least it was something better than nothing. You didn't have commentary, so it was weird, but I saw Alec Boehm fall down 0-2, makes it 1-2 with a good eye watching a ball, and then what do you know, just a good rip out to left field, really nice stroke, delivering through the ball, quick through the zone. Alec Boehm, just give him 2 strikes. Start out every at-bat with 2 strikes. That's where I'm at now for the kid because he's sensational when it comes to just being poised no matter what the situation is. He always finds a way to deliver with 2 strikes, and it's amazing. I love Alec Boehm. I love Alec Boehm. I love Alec Boehm. And I also love DraftKings. It's that time of year again. Conference tournaments are tipping off. Bubble teams are making their final push for a bid while the top seeds are preparing for what they hope is a long run. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of the action. Bet $4 on an underdog. Win $256 if they win. It's that simple. That's bet $4 on an underdog in select college basketball games, and if they win, you collect $256. The bank is open. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code Brodes when you sign up to turn $4 into $256 if the underdog of your choosing pulls off the upset. That's code Brodes to turn $4 into $256 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only, new customers only. Restrictions apply in partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we got a lot of spring training ball headed our way. They continue to play constantly for the next handful of games here as they continues to roll through the weekend, and I'm here for it. I'm here for every single damn moment. From Luke Williams with the hair and the mustache to Mathis hitting bombs, Brad Miller hitting bombs, Bamboo Brad didn't skip a beat. And I watched the mic'd up thing of Bryce Harper and him. And I'll tell you what, man, Bryce Harper was loving it. Just seemed like a great culture guy, a great locker room guy, a great clubhouse guy, man. You got to appreciate the role players, the utility guys. Look, that was me in my prime. In baseball, maybe not so much because I played at a younger age, but in hockey, as I developed through the stages and I was playing in college, man, I was a locker room guy. There's a beauty to it. There's an art to it. So when I see Brad Miller out there and I see how Bryce Harper, if you didn't see the mic'd up thing, it was on YouTube through the Phillies official page. It's pretty good. It's them just warming up and just hearing Bryce mic'd up. It was pretty funny. But man, his relationship with Brad Miller, it's awesome to just see what Brad Miller's personality and the goofball that he is. It just sums up what role players are, and it's an appreciation thing for me. So with that being said, thank you all so much for listening. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that sub button. I appreciate all the support. Do not forget about that giveaway on my Twitter page, that Hump Day giveaway, Bryce Harper jersey tee. Super excited to give that away. Thank you all so much, and I will see you next time.